Let's bring on Director of Recruiting for On3, Chad Simmons. We're going to get into some of the Simmons scoop, so why not start with the number one running back in America, Jerrick Gibson out of IMG. He has locked down 4 official visits. He gave you the dates on these and everything. Here they are real quick. June 2nd, UGA. June 9th, Alabama. June 16, Tennessee. June 24, Texas. That is one busy month of June for the number one running back in America. Chad, looking at this list, who stands out to you amongst these teams, and when do you think he's going to ultimately make this final decision?
Yeah, I'll start with the second question first, Josh. I mean, Jerrick made it pretty clear, that he wants to commit somewhere during the season, likely mid to early season. He wants to wrap up the OVs over the summer, take a month or so to think about it, maybe even taking a game or two in the fall, see how some teams are playing, using his position, how they're playing offensively, then make that decision. I think right now, the school that stands out the most to me based on intel is University of Texas. They went into Florida last year, landed Cedric Baxter, number one running back in the country. They want to do the same this year with Jerrick Gibson. A one-time Florida commit. Tashard Choice is the key here again. He's one of the best in the country at developing relationships, building that trust. Jerrick was out there in January. He'll be back out there again in the summer. And I wouldn't blink twice if he was back out there in the spring for a spring practice. So it wouldn't surprise me at all. So Jerrick, obviously, I like where Texas is at right now. And if I had to give a number 2 school, I may lean towards Tennessee. They're on him hard in a good spot. But it could be really any of those schools, Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama.
So Jerrick lists 4 visits. Is there a 5th team? Because you're allowed 5 official visits. Is there a 5th team that you're watching that could get into this recruitment and get an official visit out of the number one back in America?
I think you have to watch Florida. He's from Gainesville. He was a one-time Florida commit. They definitely want to get him back on campus as soon as possible and as many times as possible. Jerrick said that he'd like to take that 5th official, but it definitely wasn't a lock. And he has a couple of schools in mind. He didn't want to kind of list those or name those just yet, but I'm hearing Florida still reaching out. Definitely one to watch if he does decide to take that 5th and final official visit.
All right, let's move from the number 1 running back in America to the number 2 running back in America, Cam Davis. He's a longtime Florida State commitment, and you spoke to him this weekend. He told you he wants to take, along with FSU, 4 other official visits. So he plans to take all 5 of his official visits, despite being committed to the Seminoles since 2021. He says possibly LSU, Georgia, Colorado, and Texas A&M. So the team that stands out to me is Colorado, because you talked to Cam. How big of a threat is Coach Prime in the Buffaloes to Florida State's top-rated commitment?
Well, they got to get him on campus. I think the big thing about Cam, it feels like he's been committed so long, he should already be playing for Mike Norvell in Tallahassee. I mean, he's been to Tallahassee so many times, been committed for 2+ years already. The big thing for Cam is, remember, he's not just a football guy. He's a 2-sport guy looking to play football and baseball. So as he's evaluating the football side, he also looks at the baseball side, who's recruiting him in baseball, the kind of program they have in baseball. We know FSU has very good in both sports. He's obviously Tennessee's one, very good in both. He's looking at schools that have multi-sports that he can play and succeed in. And I think the biggest thing for Colorado is, can they get him on campus? Will they get him on campus? If they do, they become a threat.
Okay. So right now, though, as it stands, what do you think Florida State's chances of holding on to Cam are?
I think they're pretty good. I mean, he feels good with that staff. He likes where the team's at football-wise. Also, obviously, baseball's been steady for a long time at Florida State. He's a guy that's going to get drafted on some level to play Major League Baseball as well. And that'll factor in too. But I like where Florida State is at with Cam. He'll be back there for their pro day in March. He'll take a visit to Tennessee in March. I think Tennessee probably is the biggest competition right now. He'll be at UT in the spring and then back for an official in the summer at UT. So, again, I like where FSU's at. I feel good about their chances to hang on to him right now. Let's see after he takes some visits kind of how he feels and kind of how I feel.
Five-star wide receiver Mike Matthews out of the state of Georgia is one of the highest rated recruits in the country, one of the best wide receivers in the country, has teams from coast to coast recruiting him. Now, he hasn't set any official visits yet, but you spoke to him over the weekend. It sounds like he knows of one right now.
Yeah, he said he made it pretty clear to everyone that USC will definitely get an OV, and that'll happen sometime in the summer. Mike Matthews just finished basketball season, got beat out in the playoffs on Saturday night, took part in the Under Armour All-American camp on Sunday, and he said he'll now start to really turn his focus on recruiting and really kind of try to narrow that list down, set up some spring visits, get some OVs locked in for the summer, and he wants to make that decision before his senior year. He was at USC last July when that week opened up late before the start of fall camp in August. He loved it. He loves the West Coast, what they do offensively under Lincoln Riley. So SC is very much in this, Josh.
Who do you think the main group of teams competing for him right now? Who are those teams right now?
I think three, stand out to me. I would start with Clemson, Georgia, and Tennessee, just going alphabetical order. I think obviously USC's in there, Ohio State, Bama's still in the mix, but three schools to me seem to be up there, maybe a little bit of separation for Mike Matthews. He's been to Clemson numerous times, Georgia, Tennessee as well, multiple times. I like where those three schools sit right now within that group of schools he's considering.
All right, two Georgia big men trending to the SEC, but trending to different SEC programs. Tell me about four-star defensive lineman Justin Green and four-star offensive tackle Daniel Calhoun.
Yeah, Justin Green, I tell you, who's done a great job there is South Carolina. I think they got on him early. Justin's added, I can't tell you how many offers over the last, month and a half, 2 months, but he's become a hot commodity here in the Peach State as one of the more versatile defensive lineman. He was good on Sunday as well at the Under Armour camp, so stock will probably continue to rise as we enter the spring months. But I think South Carolina's done a great job. Sterling Lucas recruiting him, multiple coaches involved. Shane Beamer's one for sure. He's been in Columbia, I think 3 or 4 times, got a real feel for the atmosphere there, and likes what they're building, at the University of South Carolina under Shane Beamer. With Daniel Calhoun, we confirmed on Sunday he'll take OVs to Tennessee and Texas also in June. But I think right now the top 2 schools there are Alabama and Georgia. His dad played at Alabama. He's from, obviously, Georgia, been to Georgia, Athens multiple times, probably double digits. He's a top priority for both schools. And a school coming on strong, he said that wasn't even in his top 10 was University of Miami. He's been talking to Crystal Ball, Mirabal, and they may sneak in here and get that 5th and final official visit. They weren't even in the top 10 schools not too long ago. So I think right now Georgia and Bama are the 2 to watch. Don't sleep on, again, Miami, Tennessee, and Texas as well.
All right, Chad, thanks for coming on the Inside Scoop, dropping all the Simmons scoop. Thank you for watching. Make sure you smash that subscribe button for me, and remember to check out all the videos on the On3 YouTube page.